to this profane place, seeking the knowledge of the darkest of powers. Very well, I will grant you what you want.
Okay, I'm not going to be doing that for the entire video. Before we get into this, I have to say this is not the kind of thing that PCs should be trying to do. A player becoming a full-on wings, horns, spawn of pure evil demon is the kind of thing that will derail campaigns and set players at each other's throats. You and the Paladin will not be friends after this. So, in Pathfinder, the Become a Demon ritual is really good stuff for the bad guys to be involved with. Becoming a fully fledged demon could be part of a bad guy's ongoing plan. Or studying this ritual could be part of an investigation by the players to figure out the origins of a demon that already exists. Now, all of that being said, let's look into what it takes to ascend to the circles of the Neverborn. The first thing you have to do before you can even begin the 4-part transformation ritual is to learn that the ritual exists. From here on out, I'm just going to kind of assume that this is part of an antagonist's agenda. There are a couple of ways that he could have learned about the ritual. Way number 1 is he could have read it in a book. The Pathfinder PFSRD gives the example of the Book of the Damned. This could have been found in a forgotten library, it could have been in the possession of an evil-aligned cult, or it could have been in the keeping of certain good-aligned organizations, to keep it out of the hands of people who would abuse it. Looking into a break-in at an Inquisition base, a wizard tower, or a holy temple, where an evil grimoire containing the Become a Demon ritual is a great hook for players. Another way to get information about the rituals is by summoning a demon that knows it. It's also important to know that this information isn't in the possession of every demon. It's not impossible for something small like a Quasit to know it, but I wouldn't say it's likely either. In fact, learning the name and summoning the kind of demon which would know this ritual could also be part of the bad guy's plan. This will probably involve things like doing research or summoning and bargaining with demons that may not have the information themselves, but they know how to get it. It's also possible that each stage of the ritual might involve summoning the same demon who's kind of parceling out the information. Alright, now on to the first ritual. The first ritual is the easiest, and requires nothing more than for the user's alignment to become chaotic evil. By undertaking acts of a vile, destructive nature, the mortal consigns their soul to the abyss, even if they never finish the second and third rituals. The mortal must select a demon patron. This can be a demon lord, a nascent demon lord, or a Balor lord. The acts undertaken can vary, but should be of a nature that honors the areas of the demon patron's interest. These acts are, after all, intended to attract the patron's interest. Even mortals who begin the transformation ritual as chaotic evil must undergo this stage of the ritual, if for no other reason than to select a demonic patron. In total, this first ritual must take place over the course of a minimum of 1 year, at the end of which the mortal's alignment changes to chaotic evil. I'd also like to point out that the nature of the demonic patron affects the nature of the demon that the person doing the ritual will end up turning into. So if their patron is Pazuzu, they might become a Varrock. Those are the vulture-like demons. Sathagotha, the frog god, would probably turn them into a Hezro. Those are the frog demons. I hope I'm saying this right. Fraz Urblu, Prince of Deception, might create something like a Glabrazu, the treachery demons, or a shadow demon. And Kaizel, the deposed queen of succubi, would create a succubus, obviously. The second ritual requires many more months of horrific tasks and vile plots. But at some point, during the second year, the mortal must contact their demonic patron, via either the commune or contact other plane spell. A trusted minion or ally can cast the spell on the mortal's behalf. It's common for spellcasters to gain a Quasit Familiar, so that the Quasit can use its commune spell-like ability for this purpose. Once contact is made, the demonic patron must be told of the mortal's desire to become a demon. The commune or contact other plane spell cannot be used for any other task than asking this question. at some point thereafter, but before 1 year has passed, the mortal must offer a significant sacrifice to their demonic patron as a burnt offering in a temple consecrated to that demon lord. The offering can be either living or dead. In either case, the burnt offering must be someone that is related by blood or family. An adopted parent or child is sufficient. Yeah, you're definitely going to hell after that, one way or another. The mortal must make a DC 20 knowledge religion check to perform the burnt offering. If the sacrifice is or was a worshipper of a lawful or good deity, the DC drops to 10, and thus is something that someone not trained in the knowledge can attempt. If the check is successful, the second ritual ends and the mortal gains a demonic implant, typically demon senses or demon talons, as proof of their demon lord's favor. The third ritual. At some point after the mortal contacts their demon lord, typically after the second ritual succeeds, but sometimes before, the demon sends the mortal a vision of a task that must be completed, such as freeing a bound evil outsider from a mortal plane prison, or assassinating a powerful cleric of a good religion. This task is typically one of significance to the demon lord, and in many cases, one that the mortal has no hope of completing until they grow more powerful. This is actually a really good place for players to intervene. Just using some of those examples. The players could just happen to be around when this aspiring demon attempts to assassinate the good-aligned cleric. They could be hired to transport or guard an artifact that has an evil outsider bound in it. They could even be hired by the demon aspirant as part of the plan, and only learn about their employer's true motives later on. Such as, oh no, we went and retrieved the Kinslayer sword for Lord Blackthorn, and now he's broken it and unleashed a demon. I guess we gotta go fix that problem that we created. Anyway, there is no time limit for how long the mortal has to complete this task, but they must maintain their weekly devotions to their demon lord, in the time that passes in the form of regular worship and continued sacrifices. Additional burnt offerings to the demon, betrayals of allies, and assaults on innocent people are popular choices. Once the assigned task is completed, the mortal must perform another ritual to honor the demon lord, a sacrifice consisting of no less than 12 non-evil creatures, offered in the course of no more than a single week. The mortal must then make a DC 30 knowledge religion check at the end of the sacrifice, but they gain a +1 bonus to the check for every 5 additional sacrificed innocents. If the check succeeds, the third ritual ends and the mortal permanently gains the Half-Fiend template. By the way, the Half-Fiend template is very powerful, and will make whoever gets it pretty hard to deal with, whether that be NPC or Heaven Forfend player. The fourth and final ritual. For many, gaining the Half-Fiend template is enough, but for those who wish to go further, a fourth ritual exists. The mortal's demon lord grants no vision or advice on how to begin this ritual. The mortal must take it upon themselves to honor their demon lord in a manner appropriate to the demon lord's interests. Once every year, on the anniversary of the day the mortal completed the third ritual, they must perform a special ceremony that recounts their accomplishments over the past year, and culminates with a sufficient sacrifice, usually consisting of the sacrifice of an important member of an enemy faith or lawful or good outsider. In any case, the CR of the sacrifice must be no less than 9. The mortal then makes a DC 40 knowledge religion check, with a cumulative +1 bonus for every previous ritual that they have performed over the past several years. Success results in a final transformation into a fully fledged demon. This is where longer-lived races potentially have a pretty big advantage. A half-fiend elf could be waiting a darn long time, performing these rituals, doing the sacrifices, until he basically doesn't really need to try because he's banked all those +1 bonuses. Anyway, the mortal loses all of the benefits from their previous race and the half-fiend template, but can immediately apply all of their class levels to their new demonic race. For example, a human fighter, level 10, could become a Varrock fighter, level 10. The type of demon that the mortal transforms into depends on both the nature of the chosen demon lord and the GM's discretion, of course. But it should generally not result in a total number of hit dice that more than doubles the mortal's original hit dice. The demon transformation ritual is, in my opinion, an awesome way to start putting together either a mission for players or a campaign. Because it requires so much of the person performing the ritual, it means that there's going to be a lot of evidence, a lot of clues, a lot of places that players could be to intervene in this, or things that they could look for that have already been done that will eventually lead them into a confrontation with their new demon-powered enemy. Now, if you're interested in more strategy guides and class analysis for Pathfinder or Dungeons & Dragons, check out D6 Damage right here on YouTube. Thank you for watching.